Hello everyone, I'm in Weymouth, Massachusetts right now, and while I'm at it, we're gonna take a look at the least used station on the Kingston, or formerly Kingston/Plymouth line. The least used station that is still open anyways, because the actual least used station has been mothballed, Plymouth! And that's going to be a subject of its own video, which I am not filming in the middle of winter. However, rest assured, that video will be coming before March 24th. Or I'll at least be filming it before March 24th. Of course, for those that don't know, March 24th is the opening date for South Coast Rail. Which, stay tuned for that video, because that's going to be a banger. Probably. I'm hoping it's a banger. Right, so we're at South Weymouth Station. Waiting for next outbound Kingston train. And we'll be going to the currently open, least used station on the line. It's obviously not South Weymouth. It probably is not Abington these days. Most likely not Whitman. And it sure as fuck probably is not Hanson. And it abso-freaking-lutely is not Kingston. So that only really leaves Halifax. So, we're going to Halifax. Not Nova Scotia, because I do not have my passport on me, but to Halifax, Massachusetts. Is there anything noteworthy about Halifax, Massachusetts? Probably not. But, fuck it, YOLO. Anyways, we have a bunch of transit-oriented development around here, including over there behind the thingy. Yeah, and all the way over there. I'm genuinely surprised. You know what? Good job, Town of Weymouth, for building TOD here. Because formerly this was, and you can kind of still see some traces of it, an industrial wasteland. So, good for you, Weymouth. I'm proud. Good job for showing the rest of the state what's possible. And fuck you, Milton. Alright, welcome to Halifax, Massachusetts. So, it is the only double-tracked station on the whole line past Braintree. However, this also leads to an anomalous situation where the platforms are not labeled inbound, outbound, but rather platform number 1 and platform number 2 all the way over there. In terms of how I feel, I very much have a sense of existential dread. Except that's in spite of knowing that I'm only stuck here for all of half an hour or so. It is very quiet. Let's see, what does the station have? Seating, of course. A lot of parking. Is that a police officer? Yeah, that's a police officer. A sheltered section of the platform, which is pretty typical. And overall, there really is not a lot to it. This is the least used station on the Kingston Line, except for Plymouth, but Plymouth will be a subject of its own video. And let's take a look at around the area. Yeah, there really is nothing here. I have a system map which is grossly out of date. And yeah, there's just not a lot here. Now, from what I understand, most trains board on platform number 1. I do not know how one would tell the difference between what boards on track 1, on track number 1 and the number 2 track over there, but yeah. Dear God, this is bad. Yeah. My hand is starting to freeze, which is not a good sign of things, but we'll make it through. At least there's also a grade crossing to change sides if it comes down to it, which is neat. And now it's time for the toilet review. There is no restroom here. You have some snowbanks. It is the middle of winter after all. You have bicycle parking, which is neat. Kinda weird given that this is literally the middle of nowhere. Last I checked, this is certainly middle of nowhere enough to where I think this might actually be the most Republican town that the MBTA serves. You know, I think I might put some stats up on how this town voted in 2020 and 2024, just for fun. So I'm pretty sure when I looked into it for the fun of it one time, it was either this town or Lakeville that ended up being the reddest town served by any part of the T, be it the subway, the buses, the commuter rail, the ferries, although we don't care about the ferries much. Yeah. This really is the middle of nowhere. And you will have to walk a very long way just to get much of anywhere. Which is not reassuring in the slightest, especially when it is a freezing cold day like today is. What was I thinking when I thought, let's film a least used station video? Well, I'll tell you what, I wasn't thinking. But, whatever. Yeah. I really do not have much else to add to this, so with that in mind, I guess. Thank you for tuning in. Shit, I gotta give this station a score. I think I'll give Halifax... I mean, it's not that bad, however, I can see how one could easily get thrown off by the Platform 1, Platform 2 thing. I did do a little bit of research by reading what Miles in Transit said of the station many, many moons ago. And I do see where he's coming from with how Platform 1 and Platform 2 can cause confusion. But my best guess with that is that Platform 1 is the main line and Platform 2 is a passing track in case trains end up meeting this close to Kingston for whatever reason. But all things considered, that aside, for it being a park and ride in the middle of nowhere essentially, I'll have to give it probably a 6.5, maybe a 7. I mean, I don't have any major gripes with it other than it's in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah. With that, thank you for tuning in, and enjoy your winter. I will be back in the next video, which will be... the next video that'll be published will either be Plymouth or South Coast Rail, one of those two. And here's the grade crossing. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.